What's good, guys? Welcome back to another video. We're going to get into the daily trade setup for Bitcoin. Now, before I get into the video, there's already 1,800 of you that have signed up for the live trading floor on April 1st and 2nd. Now, when you sign up, you will be prompted to fill in a form, basically like explaining what is your biggest trading problem holding you back at the moment. And I've went through that today. I've analyzed the data and I realized 70% of you are dealing with three main problems. So I've already written what those problems are, exactly why they happen, and how to solve them. I'm going to put the link to that thread down below in the description box below. Feel free to check it out later. I'm pretty sure it's going to be relevant for you because chances are you're going to be part of the 70% that are dealing with one of these three problems, or a combination of all three actually. But otherwise, make sure you sign up to the live trading floor. And if you haven't yet, make sure you sign up to the live trading floor. It's going to be happening in 4 days from now. It's going to be a couple of days where I'm going to be live trading with you. There's going to be a lot of Q&A. So come with questions prepared, and we're going to try to pass a funding challenge, hopefully, in the 2 days that I'm going to be running it. Should be pretty fun, and you'll get to basically just see me executing the system in real time. Now, it's a format that I already do inside Bootcamp and, VIP and even Blueprint, but it's going to be my first time doing it for the public, basically. But anyways, let's get into the intraday setup for Bitcoin. So far, we are looking at a bearish daily bias, which means that we should technically be looking for a short today. Now, going down into the 1 hourly, it's also pretty interesting. You just literally have this area right here. And if you guys recall from yesterday, I do apologize from the fact that I couldn't post a trade setup yesterday because I was really busy just live executing with the VIP group, which is basically you came back into this hourly order block that I talked about, and prices ended up breaking lower after that. Now, the time this happened was at around 9:45, which was just a little bit over the news window, but it was still within a valid kind of time frame. And so we ended up taking a short towards there. Now, don't get me wrong, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows, because initially I even saw a order block over here, which I tried to take advantage of at around 9 a.m. when price retraced into the order block, and then you got in a lower time frame CISD. I tried to take advantage of that, got stopped out here. Then ultimately, once price filled in that second block, I tried again, and boom. That is the lesson here is that, one of the rules of the system, and one of the rules that you should probably apply for yourself, is that take a maximum of 2 trades in a single session or in a single day. In the event that you get stopped out in the first one, it's never too late to get in on the second one. But if you only hold yourself to one possible trade per day, that can be a little bit tough, if sometimes the market conditions may not be right at that exact moment, and not being able to just retry it feels bad. But at the same time, you don't want to, just not set a limit to this, because in the event that you lose a couple and you try to, revenge trade and you try to get back in the market, and then boom, you're going to take 4, 5, 6 trades and they might all end up losses, and you are going to be screwed at that point. So 2 trades per session, it's a really good rule. It's definitely a rule that helped me yesterday. But getting into the trade idea for today, so far you are quite a long way away from this hourly order block that you could have potentially taken advantage of if you were closer. So the ideal entry today is still going to be a return back into this order block and then for continuation towards the downside. But to be honest, as it stands right now, it's already 6 a.m. and today is a non-news day, which means the ideal trading window for today is literally just going to be between 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. So instead of using that order block, I'm going to say once you get into this fair value gap over here, and if the 5-minute charts start to show a 5-minute CISD, then you're already going to be good enough to get into it. Basically, right now, you have a couple of weak highs. So highs are taken out. So at the very minimum, you want to see price go above 68,000. And once you sweep out the high and you start forming a 5-minute exchange delivery, then that is going to be the ideal setup for today. Now, the second option is going to be just literally momentum trading this. Now, would I recommend this? No, because it's 6 a.m., right? You're still outside of the kill zone. One of the core tenets of the system is that we want to be trading during the kill zone, not outside of it. So for now, I think this is going to be the setup. Now, in the event that, by the time the kill zone comes, instead of retracing back here, you form a new order block and you form another order block, and price just seems like it's breaking down, then yeah, just momentum trade that towards the downside. And intraday target for today, obviously you have this one that is most definitely very likely going to be hit, bar some really unexpected event. And then you have another one at 65.5, and technically you have, just a bunch of relatively belows around this level actually. So around $65,000, that is going to be kind of the next zone that we would look for, just intraday pockets. And I'm just going to mark out another liquidity point, because to be honest, if we were to just go with this liquidity point for today, it's going to be a very tight window for us to play with. Ideally, we want to be able to take advantage of a slightly bigger move. Now, speaking about slightly bigger moves, now both Euro and Nasdaq are looking very decent. Already, try to get a couple of trades in on those. And if I'm not mistaken, crude oil is also looking fantastic. So if you're into Forex, definitely take a look at them. I think they are going to be, well, odds are you might get a more higher quality setup on TradFi compared to Bitcoin, just because today's a non-news day. But yeah, so far this is going to be the setup. I don't think realistically, we're going to see a break above 69,000 today. But if we do, that would be kind of like the invalidation point for this trade. Essentially, like if price just starts shooting above 69,000 without any sort of 5-minute, bearishness, then yeah, today we're just not going to end up trading. Again, it's Friday, there's no news. So it's perfectly fine to just take it easy. Not every single day is a trading day, and that is very true. That is it in terms of Ethereum. That is it in terms of Bitcoin. Now we move on to Ethereum. So far, we also are much closer to the order block. So just in terms of like pure like cleanliness, or just how straightforward the trade is, Ethereum might be a better short today, just because like just from the virtue that it is actually close to the order block. So right here, as long as you do not break above this order block, you're already good enough to get into the trade. Just take a look at the 5-minute chart real quick, and yeah, odds are you're going to, like, this is going to be the key level, right? 2050 Fu, because you have that hourly fair value gap that kind of aligns with, like, if the 5-minute highs get swept, you're going to fill that hourly fair value gap, and then you're going to go down. That will be the ideal setup. And right now you've got relatively equal lows on Ethereum as of the time that I'm recording this video, of course. So yeah, looking slightly more clean compared to Bitcoin. Now take a look at Solana real quick. You're also dealing with a bearish daily bias, and you are also looking at a potential order block right there. Like, you've already gotten the CISD towards the downside. So today, the only trade possible, or at least the trade that is going to be more worth your time, is going to be just shooting the highs, coming into the order block and looking for a short. Reason for that is because on most of the crypto charts right now, the hourly is pointing towards the downside, the daily is pointing towards the downside, and the 5-minute is very clearly pointing towards the downside. If you know anything about, for example, I talked at length in yesterday's video about how as a trader, you want to be following the trend. The trend is your friend and you want to trade alongside with it. Ideally, you don't want to be in a situation where you're counter trend trading. It usually leads to a lower percentage of it usually leads to a lower win rate percentage, and it also leads to a lot of trades potentially, like, once you get into it, it might chop around just to end up stocking you out. And when you trade with the trend, like case in point, if you take a look, just look at how aggressive the downside moves are and how relatively choppy the upside moves are. Even when you start pumping, it's like, okay, you go into a period of ranging. So ideally, you want to be taking advantage of these. You don't want to be stuck in these. That is basically, like, if I could sum up, or like if I could boil down why you want to be trading with the trend, that would probably be a nice little, summary. But yeah, now, if possible, I would highly recommend you take a look at Euro, NASDAQ, and oil, because those are all looking very, very clean. But otherwise, I say this has been a pretty good trading week, although, like, I didn't really get an opportunity too much to post on X on my live executions. And to be fair, I've only taken like a couple of trades on Bitcoin. The rest of my trades were honestly just from TradFi, just because of how clean they were looking throughout the week. So again, if I haven't mentioned it before, and again, like, you've heard me mention this before, but if you haven't already, get access to TradFi, just pick up a Profit and just kind of like keep your trading separate, right? You have your centralized exchanges for crypto, and then do some prop trading, and that will give you access to Forex and TradFi assets. Like, you're missing out greatly if you're not getting into Forex. But otherwise, I will see you guys next week. And yeah, looking forward to that live trading event. Come with questions. Like, I'll be happy to speak with you and to just answer them. It's probably going to last like 3 to 4 hours every single day. So we're going to spend a lot of time together. Ciao, ciao.